Do you want the facts? Can you handle the facts? Are you over the beliefs? Are you tired of the lies? Have you uncovered what religion really is? Do you identify as an Alkebulan Kidnapped? If so, then welcome to The Verdict, where we stand on facts over beliefs. Court is in session. Do you want the
Court is in session, people. What about you? It's your brother man for another link coming to you guys live from the NY, back with another one of that verdict. For those that don't know who I am him. The Honorable Judge John holding it down. We're going to play around. And today we're going to have a phenomenal one. But before we do, you know I got to give nothing but honor and thanks to the creators. Give an old shade to the ancestors. Give an old shade to the YouTubers. To everybody that supports this movement. I give nothing but thanks and honor and respect, because it's because of you guys it allows me to do what I do best. And that is to continue being this Bible and keeping my foot on heathens, Hebrews, Heathenites, and all the other Israelites next. Right? What are the kids for that? Amen. So today we're gonna have a phenomenal one, man. I'm gonna be playing a video today from no other than the Queen itself, Queen Valara. For those that don't know, she is how can you call this? She's a female freedom fighter, but her stance is, you know what I'm saying, indigenous ideologies. And I'm gonna play a video with her, and then I'm gonna present a slide. I was gonna do the slide first, but something tells me to play the audio, the documentary, before I do the presentation. So get ready. She's going to be talking about a lot today. Now, for us as the Alkebulan Kidnapped, yes, there's a lot of people. Let me make this clear. There's a lot of people that was already here prior to the invasion or the appearance of the Europeans, the Spaniards, or whoever you want to call them. But remember, the origin always was in Alkebulan. We have been traveling from Africa to America to the Caribbean to South America. We was doing this for thousands of years. Okay? The only reason why these people even know about the show, the voyage, is because of us. Okay? So, get it out your mind where you get this ideology or this perception to believe that ships and everything was created by them, and they brought ships to Africa. That was the first time they see ships, and they put us on these ships, and they were shipped into all these areas. That's not true. But I'm not going to dive into that. There was a sister that came on IG, and she was commenting on this Ethiopian Bible. Now, for those that's been following me for a very long time, you guys know I already gave you guys a presentation, all the information. Excuse me, all the information that you guys will see, that you saw online when I was putting it together, has been removed. I repeat, has been removed. It's literally arms and legs to try to find Father Gabba Gibbons. Father, again. Abba means father. Again, the term father came with the New Testament, came with the Jesuit order, came with the honor and respect to the Orsinian family, because the Pope, I believe it was Nicholas, who orchestrated, ordained for this thing to be written in stone. Okay? The Crusades was happening because people didn't want to follow their beliefs. religion. That's what we have there. We're going to dive into today's presentation. So grab yourself some popcorn. Let us do what we do. Make sure I get it right. You okay? It's this one. Here we go. All right. These ECAN people got so much things that they need to correct, man. Let me turn this down. Mic check, mic check. Am I coming off too loud? Yeah, it seems like I'm coming off loud. Mic check, mic check. Yeah, it's definitely coming off loud. Mic check, mic check. Still coming off loud. Let me turn this off. Hold on. Mic check, mic check. Yeah, that joke was getting me coming off real loud. My apologies. Playing with the filter. Pause. That was nasty work. Yeah, let's dive into it. And I know I said I was gonna come on at 6, but I was just so anxious. You know what I'm saying? I want to go outside. It's beautiful outside. So let me play this video for you guys. Listen carefully.
Now, this is why when the brother talked about getting our land back.
Fair use. Fair use, YouTube, fair use. Just so you guys know that I don't be playing when I be talking what I be talking. You see this? You see that? Damn near close to $200 for this book right here. And I got it off a discount because this book right here can run you anywhere from $300 to $500. This is the Black Law Dictionary. And she's gonna be talking a lot of law talk that you only gonna find in this book right here. Okay? So I want you guys to see, just so you can get an understanding that your brother man from the motherland is here to terrorize like a Taliban. You heard? So without further ado, let the queen speak.
I know this issue very well. I fight this fight every day on top of all my other duties and responsibilities and everything else that I do. So when we talk about justice returns under the age of Aquarius, this is why when we walk into a courtroom and we understand that the court, as I explained to a class just recently, a court is also a corporation. They don't hide that from you. They put it right on the seal, right behind the judge. And they tell you that this court was incorporated in 1878.
Pay attention, people. Pay attention. Make sure you guys take some notes down because this information, a lot of the information that she's going to bring forth is going to be very, very needed for you guys moving forward. And she's about to bring forth something that's going to justify everything that I've been saying for the last couple of months when it's pertaining to religion. Listen carefully. Let us continue.
Whatever it is. This court was incorporated. And what words do they use? Founded. So when you see the word founded and you see the word established in, it already tells you that they're a corporation. Understand? And anybody who owns a corporation does what? Own a slave. Because a corporation is a slave holder. Understand? Now, let's talk about the issues that come up in court. How am I with time, Noah?
Pay attention, people.
All right. The point I want to make real quick relative to going to court and getting land back and all these issues and all these injustices that have been done to us, when we participate in organizations that take us off our square, that adds to the chaos and the confusion. So it's better not to join anything at all and just be yourself if you're not going to be a Moor. But even if you're going to be a Moor, understand that sovereignty is an individual thing. Don't go into court talking about I belong to such and such organization. And be clear about that, because as soon as you say an association, an organization, a business, a firm, a corporation, you're talking about slavery. And they love that language because you're putting yourself right in their jurisdiction as soon as you say it. But you go in there and say, I am. Well, what organization do you belong to? Well, none. They do not know how to deal with you. But as soon as you say corporation, because they're a corporation and they speak the corporate language and they have corporate policy, they'll love you to say that. So the first thing they're going to do is, how are we going to get some money? All right? Because that's the name of the game, money. Now, let's talk about who they are, why they exist, these courts. First of all, we know they're not really courts. We know they're colorable. They know they're colorable. They have to be colorable because they're dealing with colorable people, right? If we choose not to be colorable, we don't belong in there.
Did you hear what she said? You're dealing with colorful people. These laws. Remember when I did the live talking about all these laws is literally created to keep the black man and the black race down and keep these individuals in superior positions? She's gonna break it down for you. And mind you, never heard of this sister until 2 days ago. Let us continue.
So the court is this. Just like the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, just like the Bar Association, just like the United States of America, they are this. They are a private nonprofit corporation. If you get some mail that belongs to me, do you go and show up and say you're me? No, you can't do that. So if a private nonprofit corporation sends you a document and you have no contract with them, why should you go up and debate the contract? Because if you don't have a contract, right? If you don't have a contract, you don't have a contract.
So basically, what she's basically trying to let you guys understand is that America is a corporation and that everything that's handed to you, that's around you, is under contract. And once you sign these contracts, you are now under their jurisdiction because you made an agreement with them. Okay? Now, I don't know too much about the sovereign citizen. I heard it's a hassle, heard it's a process. And as a black man, if you don't know this from front to back, you're going to jail. Trust me. I know a couple of brothers that's into, the sovereign citizen, and listen, it ain't easy. Job, children to school, you know what I'm saying? These individuals is working off the books. It's just too much. You know what I'm saying? Too much. But let us continue. Contracts. Remember that, people.
Simple as that. You don't need to go there and say all that. Just say, because here's my status and this and that and the other, right? Don't go in there trying to debate whether you owe money on the contract or not. The bill was too high and all that. And I'm not saying that because of what you said. Understand that. If you don't have the contract, why are you discussing the bill? It doesn't make sense, does it? First, you have to have a contract. So the first thing you need to understand when you walk in there, I don't care what the issue is. Here's the question. And I write things.
Pausing it quick, fast. I want you guys to pause it on your end, and I want you guys to go make yourself a purchase for I Am a Alkebulan Kidnapped. I really want you guys to let the world know that you know what you know now. And we are the Alkebulan Kidnapped, and we want our land back. Facts. Get yourself one. Let us continue.
Things down, specific things I write down, because when I write them down, I'm spelling. Understand? Do we have a contract? If I rescind my birth certificate, do I agree to belong to the corporate ward state that calls itself the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, which is a private nonprofit corporation? If I don't have a birth certificate with you, what agreement do we have that you should summon me to answer anything? Right? If I don't have an agreement with the parking authority, which I don't, do they have the right to send me a bill saying that I owe them for a parking?
Nope. This I seen done in real life, but it's not as easy as you think it is. You have to know the law. When I mean the law is the conversations that you have within your peers, you can't have that in the courtroom. The courtroom is literally a corporate 500. Everything has to be top of the line. This is like England back in the days. All right, when they was writing the Constitution and you seen them with the wigs on. That ideology, that foundation still exists till this day. And if you don't know what you're saying, like she said, you tell them you're a corporation, et cetera, they're going to come violate. Because America is a corporation. What is a corporation? A corporation is a business or a agency that owns slaves. And she tells you that. You can find that in the law book. Get yourself that law book.
Ticket. It's ludicrous. Now, the thing to say is, if you don't have the contract, you have certain rights, and you need to exercise those rights. And there are codes even that are there and laws that are there to protect you if you don't have a contract with somebody and they're trying to make you adhere to a contract. I don't care what kind of contract it is. If you don't have a driver's license and they pull you over, the first thing you need to say is, I don't have a contract. They may still give you the ticket, but understand that if there are other things, which I already explained, in the language of silence.
Well, here in New York, no license, you're going to jail. You will be arrested. You will be sent to the precinct. And there's a high possibility you will be going to central bookings. I would not advise anybody to drive without a license. You're literally playing Russian roulette. There's no going home. Once they hear you don't have a license, following me to the precinct. Period.
Which, because we are amongst non-Moors tonight, I will not show you. However, there's a language of silence that you can speak to these people and they will not bother you. You can trust me on that. However, if you are not comfortable and you happen to get off your square and you get the ticket and you have to go to court, that's the first thing you have to say. I don't have a contract. And all of these courts, because they are corporations, the only type of policy they can deal with is contract policy, not contract law, contract policy. So the first thing you must ask is what? Do we have a contract? And if the answer is no, then I'm here under threat, duress, and coercion. You are violating my rights. It's as simple as that. You have no other reason to be there. Does that make sense? Okay. If the state comes in and says, you're not treating your children right and we want to take them, right? The first thing you have to say is, state, do I have a contract that says I gave my children to you? Did I, at what point, produce the contract? Produce the contract. If you send me a bill, and understand that if you belong to the corporate board state, you can't make these arguments because you do have a contract, which is the birth certificate, which is the marriage license, which a marriage license is your contract, is the woman's contract with the state and the man's contract with the state. It's not a contract between the man and the woman. Never was, never will be. Unless you have a prenuptial agreement or something else, you don't have a marriage contract with the one you think you love. You have a contract with somebody else who becomes a third party to your life, always.
And that's why, been a high level of hesitancy when it's pertaining to marriage, especially for me with the knowledge that I have. You know what I'm saying? I do believe in, once you open your legs and among them puts himself in there, or you bring forth that man's child, and this is just me, that's your wife, bro. That's your wife. And I'm gonna do a podcast. I'm gonna do a podcast titled "Why Do Men Cheat?" And I'm gonna give you guys an understanding. But in reality, I still believe in that. I don't do the marriage, gotta stand before the enemy, and the enemy, just like in slavery, you know what I'm saying? You go before the masters, you say, Master, I love this darling here, and I would like to marry her, and I would like you to be the priest to put us together. Come on, man, we're not doing that. So I'll leave it as that. Let us continue. And again, I gotta keep cutting, come in and out, because they're gonna say it's a copyright. So let us continue.
Till you rescind the contract. All right? Because that's not how you get married. Marriage is under all law. All right? And then
Oh, speaking of Allah, she says it's all law. She's gonna break it down as the video plays. She's gonna break it down, but they don't. Allah is for the Muslims. All law is the law, all law of the universe. Sounds crazy, but she's bringing it forth as at this particular moment right now. I'm just a student. I'd rather listen than try to rebuttal. Right? Let us continue.
what you're responsible to do is to place the oath that you take between the two of you on the public record. Where? Where do you place information on the public record?
Facts.
Do you know? With the county. The counties are ancient. They belong to us. They belong to us. Our ancestors named the counties. Our ancestors formed the counties. Our ancestors set up the government of the counties, and the counties operate according to common law. Did y'all know that? The counties belong to us. So let me write this for you.
Just a FYI, some of you guys will be upset for the things that she say. I just want you guys to just take it with a grain of salt, please. Just do me that solid. Shout out to, when I seen her, she instantly reminded me of my sister named Karen, who got that same spunk. And then what's crazy, they're in the same field when it comes to the understanding of law. But shout out to her for that. Let's go.
How many of you think you live in Philadelphia County? But for those who, okay. Okay. All right. Here we go. See that? Do you recognize that there's a difference between the two? There's a difference between Philadelphia County, which our ancestors set up with certain geographical boundaries, and that corporate, nonprofit corporation that calls itself the County of Philadelphia. It is a corporation chartered to conduct business and commerce and trade and all that within the geographical boundary of Philadelphia County. They are two different things. They're two different things. So when you see documents, pay attention, because all documents that you get don't have County of Philadelphia on them. And you know the difference between the two, because if you get documents from the County of Philadelphia, you know that you're receiving correspondence from a corporation. Do you understand? And if you're receiving correspondence from a corporation, the first question you must ask is, do we have a contract? Now, if you receive correspondence from the county, that's common law. You have the responsibility to respond and adhere to that, because guess what? You are a part and parcel of that county. Our ancestors set up these geographical boundaries for us, all right? Now, likewise, with any other county or city, pay attention to this one little word. It's a very dangerous word. I'm going to tell you, and as I tell people in my class, when that word shows up, you're in trouble. The reason is because most of you prior to tonight You didn't understand that there was a difference. And when they use that little word of, but trust me, there's a difference between whether you're dealing with government or corporation. Government or corporation.
Listen carefully, people. You're going to get the difference between government and corporations. Listen, it's about to get real crazy. Let's go.
To know the difference. And if you don't know the difference between these things, they're going to have you swinging left and right in the dark and hitting nothing. Okay?
Hungry.
I want to explain to you that when you're dealing in contracts, your status in the contract is very important. How do you establish your presence in a contract so that you are protected? Does anybody know how to do that? Because we're confronted with contracts all the time. And when we do not adhere to certain terms and conditions of the contract, which we did not understand from the very beginning, then we're dragged into court to answer for all kinds of claims and allegations on behalf of the corporation, and we don't even understand why we're there. We think, for the most part, the majority of us, and prior to tonight, you get a summons to appear in court. I don't care whether that's a civil action or a criminal action. You're on the defensive because you feel that inherently, maybe I have done something that warrants these allegations, even if you know for a fact that you're innocent. Because the way that corporate system operates, you are not innocent until proven guilty. You are guilty until proven innocent. And the reason is because as some of these state sovereignty people would have you believe, the United States has declared war on the people. We're in a state of martial law. Well, of course you are. If the people have agreed to be corporate wards of a state that's a private nonprofit corporation, and the government operates according to sovereignty, and you agree not to be sovereign, then what have you done? You've abandoned your government. The only thing the government can do is declare war on you. That's why you walk into a military tribunal when you walk into these courtrooms. That's why they have a military flag, which is a USA flag with the gold fringe, that lets you know you're in a military tribunal. And the reason is because you've agreed not to be sovereign. So the only way they can deal with you is in a military fashion. Y'all understand that? Okay. So how to protect yourself when you're dealing in, the first thing, I'm not going to really get into details of explaining to you how to stand on your square and how to be in court and all that. The first thing you must understand is how to exist in contracts. Because if you understand how to exist in contracts, that will significantly reduce your ever having to go to court, to the courtroom, okay, to the court.
Don't mind me. I'm just putting everything together to send this out to everybody. You know what I'm saying? Share the link to everybody so everybody could tune in. This is something that I feel every Alkebulan Kidnapped should be watching, understanding, dissecting, processing, and also purchasing. Get yourself this book, guys. Get yourself this book. Yeah. Let us continue.
Room. If you understand how to deal in contracts, because all these corporations do is deal in contracts, and all the courts, these court systems, let me say that, do is deal in contracts. So if you're not familiar with the contracts, and the majority of their contracts are these. Adhesion contracts. Look in the law dictionary, look up the word adhesion, and what you're going to find is that an adhesion contract is a type of contract where there are terms and conditions that are a part of the contract of which you are not aware. And every time you sign a birth certificate, there's the balance of that contract is somewhere. Whenever you sign up for a driver's license, the balance of that contract is somewhere. You don't have it, you've never seen it, but it does exist. And this is why they have the authority to issue you a ticket for all these different things and violations, because there's a contract somewhere that you signed and you have not reserved your rights. So if you don't reserve your rights are considered waived upon signing of the contract, which means that you know, understand, and agree that there's an adhesion going on and you don't care, or you otherwise are not aware. They don't care. They've got you to sign. How do you go back now and correct the fact that you signed all these adhesion contracts everywhere all your life? You've signed them. I know you have, because I have too. And now's the time for you to get back into your proper person so you can correct those contracts and get out of the ones you don't want to have. And the ones you choose to have, you can exist under your own terms and conditions. That's the most important part. That's long before you get to go into court. Because you can go to court all day long, but guess what? Unless you correct the problem, the root of the problem, which is not knowing how to exist in contracts, you'll constantly go to court, and that's a waste of your time. I'm sure you have many more productive things to do than to keep showing up in court, making special appearance in propria persona, sui juris, and stating your status for the record. Sui juris, and stating your status for the record, okay? Now, being created out further.
My bad, y'all. I thought I deleted that part, but obviously
That is the cardinal points of the zodiac. Cardinal, as in Catholic Church, cardinal.
Let me bring it back some more.
That is for the record, okay? Now, which is not knowing how to exist in contracts, you'll constantly Christian church. Productive things to do than to keep showing up in court, making special appearance in propria persona, sui juris, and stating your status for the record. Sui juris, and stating your status for the record. The natural life cycle jurisdiction, and let them see we're not scared because we're standing on the square. They will stop calling you. Aim is up.
Right
That
here,
is the cardinal points of. I'm no artist.
it's right here, guys. Get ready. Get ready.
That is the cardinal points of the zodiac. Cardinal.
And when she hold on, let me show my face because I want you guys to. So when she breaks this down, I'm gonna show you because a lot of you guys is so hard-headed, especially those that's professing they got the truth. No, you don't. No, you don't. Understand that everything was given unto you to keep you in the condition that you are in right now. You don't have the truth. You know why you don't have the truth? You don't have the truth because there's no truth in this earth. Everything is a lie. And the people that's bringing forth the truth are the ones that's being shadow banned, or the ones that's not getting music deals, or the ones that's not, you know what I'm saying, being invited to the crowd and the parties and all of that. That's how you know. Okay? When the system, when a multi-billion-dollar system is literally working side by side to prevent you from bringing forth truth, bringing forth information, this is how you know you're doing the right thing. I just want you guys to know that. Okay? Let us continue. Listen carefully to what she got to say. Oh, come on.
up stuff just to lie to you, okay? And all of this, believe it or not, is relative to law of astrology. Geocentric because it's centric sun until it will occupy the second position, rock from the sun. This is the natural life cycle jurisdiction, and let them see we're not scared because we're standing on the square. They will stop calling you. Aim is up. That is the cardinal points of. I'm no artist. That is the cardinal points of the zodiac. Cardinal, as in Catholic Church, cardinal.
Listen carefully, people.
They are your deacons of the zodiac. Deacons, as in the Christian church.
Everything. For you Hebrew Israelites, for those that's trying to take the book of the Masons and associate it with the Africa and the land, try again. It's not going to work. It's not. The ancestors is removing all of that. You could say whatever you want. The ancestors is not going to allow a story that did more damage to anybody on the face of this earth to then now become the book to bring us back and get us out of this dirt. Come on now, stop. It's not gonna happen. But if you want to believe that, by all means continue, but don't get mad when there's not an exodus. Because if you don't understand the minors of these laws and regulations, you ain't going nowhere. Everybody sounds tough and have a whole lot to say standing on their square when there's nothing going on. We will see who's going to remain solid when it hits the fan again. Because 2019 let me know that you guys are not really followers and believers and honorable people of Jesus Christ. Because you even know deep down in your heart that story is nothing but BS. But let us continue.
They are your cardinal points. And they apply to everything you do. Who you are, your character, everything that surrounds you, your environment, the country where you live, everything is affected by the different signs of the zodiac.
And a FYI, I just got some intel. They got all our information. And I mean everything. Everything. They've been jotting our information since the ports in West Africa. I repeat, they've been jotting down our information since the ports in West Africa. They got our records. You got to pay for it. True word. My phone just went off. If you want your documentations, when I having to go to DNA and all that, pay that fee. I think it's like $1,500. Might as well pay it. I'm thinking about that's what I'm gonna do. They got everybody's record, every single slave. They got everything. Everything is tied back to the slave master, to the person that impregnate. They got all this information. She's gonna break it down. Pay attention. Let's go.
When justice died on the cross, here's what happened.
She said justice, guys.
That's our solar system, and that's the sun in the middle. and that's Earth, the third rock from the sun, which is its planetary position. That's not its name. And its planetary position will be changing, is changing every day. And it's speeding up and getting closer and closer to the sun until it will occupy the second position, rock from the sun. This is the natural life cycle of a planet. And all the planets are coming in, and then more planets are being created out further beyond Pluto. So what they call the greenhouse effect is the natural heating up of the planet. And all those who
Greenhouse effect, people. Greenhouse effect. Look that up. Greenhouse effect. Look it up. Let us continue.
cannot meet the heat requirement as the planet heats up will be eliminated from the planet. This is the science of the zodiac. Now,
just to elaborate on what she's saying, the Earth is getting hot, and not only is it getting hot, if you're paying attention, like for example, here in New York, I can count on my fingers how many times it snowed in New York City, and it was 4 times, and I didn't even think that's a stretch. It was 3, 4, or 5 times on one finger. That's how many times it snowed. Yeah. So the world is getting hot. And I want to land back and just throw out there that even though the world is getting hot, you see what they're pushing, right? They're pushing division between man and women, the black man and the black woman. While they're pushing that, selling that to the people, they're also selling interracial relationships now. All on Netflix, all on BT, all on VH1, Lifetime. A lot of these movies now is pushing the black woman with the white man, or the black man with the white woman. They're pushing this, they're pushing it, pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. You think that I'm lying? Look at that Jamie Foxx movie with Cameron Diaz that just came out. This is what's being pushed. They're trying to preserve their stock. People, wake up. They're trying to preserve their stock. This is nothing about love. This is nothing about commitment. This is nothing. All of that is bullshit. I'm telling you. I got the books, man. You guys thinking that I be playing when I be telling you that I be outside with it. You see this? This is the book that changed my life right here. This is the book. This book right here. This book right here. This is where the Jesus story comes from. This book right here. Osiris and the Egyptian resurrection. Yeah, this book right here. This is why I can't believe what's being written in the Biblos. This is why. And the problem and one of the major issues that I have is the fact that you guys can't show me the scrolls to justify that this writing was taken from there. But you can see the tablets that Christianity got their identity from. You still don't understand what's going on. I'm going to let her play, and then we're going to dive into it some more. Let's go.
just like we have the zodiac, which I just showed you, based upon what is called the geocentric form of astrology. Geocentric because it's centered based on the earth as its center point. Then there's the heliocentric form of astrology, which is based upon the sun being the center. Sun is helio, earth is geo. Everybody understand that? Now, just like we have our signs applied to the earth here, the sun also has its center point here. Everybody understand that? Does everybody understand that our entire solar system is spinning around the Milky Way? The earth spins on its axis. The moon spins on, right? Spins around. Well, let me back up. The moon doesn't spin around the earth like they told you, but the moon does have a cycle. Now, the earth spins on its axis and the earth spins around the sun. The sun spins on its axis and this entire solar system spins around the Milky Way. Everybody understand that? That's basic, right? Very basic. Now, check this out. It takes the sun 26,000 years to make one revolution around the Milky Way.
And you know the story that they tell you all the time. You know, Jesus died 2,000 years ago, and that the second coming is here. Oh man, yeah. This is where they get it from. Listen, everything is 2,000 years.
Everybody understand that? This is science here. I'm not trying to make up stuff just to lie to you, okay? And all of this, believe it or not, is relative to law. That's why I'm explaining it to you, all right? And the subject is justice died upon the cross. So I'm coming back to that, but I have to give you this information first so you'll understand. 26,000 years for the sun to make one journey around the Milky Way, all right? If we divide that by 12, why are we dividing it by 12? There are 12 signs of the zodiac, all right? Now, we divide it by 12, this is the number.
2,000 years.
2,166 years. So, our solar system's
2,000 years. Where'd that come from? Don't they teach you that in Bible class? I'm sure. Listen, I know for a fact they was teaching this in the Hebrew class. 2,000 years. I don't know if they still teaching this with the Bantu stuff, but definitely in the Hebrews. Definitely 2,000 years. Same script. Listen.
spins 2,166 years in one sign. We just left the age of Pisces. An age is equal to 2,166 years. Now, you've heard the term, an age, but nobody ever thought about it. We say for ages, what's an age equal to? Mathematically, it's equal to 2,166 years. Got it? Now, we just entered the age of Aquarius.
That's me.
All right, 2,166 is represented here.
More justification into why there's no second coming. Nothing is gonna come in your lifetime. There's not gonna be an Exodus. The Exodus will only happen when we're ready for it to happen. Matter of fact, I'll bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back.
See that? So each one, right, has a time frame of 2,166. Everybody understand that? Here's what happens. I don't need to write all of them, right? You all understand the point. We just left the age of Pisces, which was, or an eon. An age and an eon are equal to 2,166 years. Now, we just left the age of Pisces, which is represented by what we know as Jesus. This is why Jesus is represented by the sign of the fish. It's over.
And the Pope, it represents the sign of the fish. And the Pope is dealing with liver failure right now as we speak. And my brother Ibrahim out in the Book of Fossils out here doing his numbers. And my other brother, that's Alan Mali, doing his numbers. And Niger, they're doing their numbers. But the problem that you guys are not seeing is they're doing everything in their power to hold on to West Africa. Because as long as South Africa, as long as you are using their manipulation, their spells, their witchcraft, no matter what you do, no matter what God you call on, listen, Sunini Nanini is not listening to nothing that you guys are saying. Both creators are not listening to nothing that you're saying. They're not. Because you're not following the customs and the traditions of the people. You're following the writings and the works of the enemy. Okay? Albert Christian is the man that brought keeping the commandments to South Africa. Prior to that, nobody knew nothing about that. 1400, you're not going to find nobody keeping commandments. Nobody. You can go into the Congo, Alfonso, King Alfonso. You can go to his brother. You can trace this all the way back. You can trace it all the way back to the Zimbabwe kingdom, the Benin kingdom. Nobody was keeping these things. Facts. And the people that can trace keeping these laws and commandments 5,000 years ago, I'm talking about people that can trace their heritage, their customs 5,000 years ago, even them will tell you they don't know nothing about no command. All of this, nobody in the land knew nothing until colonization came. Nobody knew nothing until these people came. And I say this and I ask the question over and over again. How can a land that speaks Isikosa, that speaks Benin, that speaks all the Alkebulan language, how does a land that speaks the Alkebulan language all of a sudden have areas and cities in Alkebulan that's in English when the English language did not come into Africa until the 19th century? Late 18th, early 19th century. So explain to me, how did Mambri, which is in English, come into South Africa? Huh? Answer the question. Somebody answer these questions. These are the questions that you ask and you would never get the answer to, because you're going to get just believe, have faith. The city of Mambri was created by German missionaries and they named it Mambri in 1905. Another brother wanted to show a city in Benin that they changed the name. It used to be, this is the name, and they changed it. I did the research. That name again. I think it was 1888. So prior to that, there was no city of the Biblos. None of these things ever existed, bro. This is why till this day, nobody can show me where can I trace Solomon's lineage. 700 concubines. 700 concubines. And you fast forward to all of that. And the only thing that you could connect yourself to when it's Solomon or David is Jesus. And that true word. And that, again, it's a belief. It's not the facts. You never seen it. You don't know it to be true. You just making yourself subconsciously to believe. We're not doing that anymore. We want the facts. Facts over beliefs. Shall we continue? Let's go.
Age of Pisces is over, all right? Not to come around again until we go through all of the other 11 signs of the zodiac. Now we're in the age of Aquarius. What does that mean? Justice, and any Mason will tell you, if he can unravel the allegory, is Jesus.
Hmm.
Jesus was born. Why? Because what's the opposite of Pisces? Jesus was born of a virgin mother. Virgo is the virgin.
Hmm.
Virgo is the virgin, right? Who in here is Virgo?
Hmm.
Anybody? Virgo is the virgin, right? Okay. So Jesus was born of the virgin mother, Virgo. Got it? All of this stuff in the Bible, because understand that the Bible is not a religious book. The Quran is not a religious book. They are science books. Biblios Heliotech
Hmm.
is the Bible. It's the full Latin name of the Bible. It is the science. It's an elementary science where Moors are concerned. It's the science of the study of the cycle of the sun. Helio meaning study, meaning sun. Biblios meaning record of. Y'all understand? The Quran, chronology, maxima, the great chronology. The Quran is the great chronology of the science and the study of the asteroid, of the astral plane. You understand? Okay, so justice died on the cross. Here's what happened. Those that we call Europeans or Albions, ruled during the age.
And she said Albions. There was a brother that was again trying to associate the story of Africa into the people, where he said that we was the Abyssinians. No, it's about them. It's about them. It's not about you. This is why they're pushing it. This is why they're allowing the Hebrews to come outside. This is why they're allowing the Biblos to be exalted, because they know that as long as you're tied to that, you're gonna call on their gods. They don't care if you believe to be black. They don't care if you change the name. They don't care if you believe. As long as you're opening that book, the book of witches and warlocks, Freemasonry. As long as you open that book, they don't care what you put on top of it. As long as you're eating it, they don't care what barbecue sauce you put on it. This is facts. This is not my assumptions. This is not my assertions. This is not my beliefs. These are the facts. They don't give a damn. They want you tied in. You think Putin came out to show you this Black Madonna? You think he came to show you that because he cared and he wanted you to come home and make it? Please, my niggas. We got to do better. They see the statistics, people. Listen carefully, guys. Let me go back up. They know everything. What you think the census was going? What you think the census was about the last 2-3 years ago? What you think it was about? Why you think they was just so adamant and just seeing who's who, what is what? The numbers is down. People are waking up. Mothers are not letting their children go into these institutions. Fathers is removing themselves from the cult, bro. Friday I was in Crown Heights, seeing a bunch of Jewish children all dressed up with costumes on and all that. I went to them. I see one of the brothers. I said, "Hey man, like what's going on right now?" He was like, "Oh, it's the Feast of Purim." I said, "For real?" He said, "Yeah." I was like, "Wow, I thought it was in February." He's like, "Nah, it's right now." And then while it's right now, you got a bunch of Hebrews right now believing that Passover is today. The New Year's today. Yeah. Let us continue. And I hope that joint don't start all over. Oh, that's all me.
All right? Now, we divide it by 12 system spins 2,100. You all understand the point. We just left the age of Pisces, which was, or an eon. An age and an eon are equal to 2,166 years. Now, we just left the age of Pisces, which is represented by what we know as Jesus. This is why Jesus is represented by the sign of the fish. It's over. The age of Pisces is over. All right? Not to come around again until we go through all of the other 11 signs of the zodiac. Now we're in the age of Aquarius. What does that mean?
Listen up, people.
Justice, and any Mason will tell you, if he can unravel the allegory, is Jesus. Jesus was born. Why? Because what's the opposite of Pisces? Jesus was born of a virgin mother. Virgo is the virgin. Virgo is the virgin, right? Who in here is Virgo? Anybody? Virgo is the virgin, right? Okay. So Jesus was born of the virgin mother, Virgo. Got it? All of this stuff in the Bible, because understand that the Bible is not a religious book. The Quran is not a religious book. They are science books. Biblios Heliotech is the Bible. It's the full Latin.
Biblios Heliotext. Look it up. They're like I said, they're removing these things and they're renaming them. Black people is gaining too much knowledge. They got to remove that off the internet. So save this video. If you want this actual full video, let me know. Brother man from the motherland is gonna keep his foot and terrorize everything like a Taliban. Let's go.
Name of the Bible. It is the science. It's an elementary science where Moors are concerned. It's the science of the study.
And just an FYI for you guys that want to snoop in and try to find reason to come bother me. No, I'm not into the Moorish stuff. I believe that's complete bullshit. I don't subscribe to that. I only subscribe to Alkebulan. I only subscribe to the Alkebulan Kidnapped. I only subscribe to the creators. Yes, multiple. And I subscribe to my ancestors and the lesser deities that hover over us, like Ogun, O'Shea, and all the other deities, which you guys will call for guardian angels. These are the guardians of the Alkebulans. Let us continue.
Study of the cycle of the sun. Helio meaning study, meaning sun. Biblios meaning record of. Y'all understand? The Quran, chronology, maxima, the great chronology. The Quran is the great chronology of the science and the study of the asteroid, of the astral plane. You understand? Okay, so justice died on the cross. Here's what happened. Those that we call Europeans or Albions, ruled during the age of Pisces. So when we say the time is up, we're not just saying this by conjecture. We're saying this because the time, the 2,166 years that they had is over. I'm not saying this because I have any bias against them or any of that. This is the science of it, and they know it. The problem is our people are not ready for it.
Our people is not ready for it. Why aren't our people ready? Why aren't our people ready? You know why our people aren't ready? Because our people have not yet released themselves from Jesus. Our people have not yet released themselves from religion. Our people have not yet connect themselves back to Alkebulan spirituality. Our people did not do these things. What our people is invested into is the things that's keeping us destroyed. And this is why we're not ready. We think we are. I'm not ready. And just the condition that we are in as a nation, we're not ready. The Alkebulan kidnaps, maybe the Alkebulan, right? because I see the ancestors working over there. But over here, nah, we not ready. I had a conversation with a European and I told her, I said, if America was to go into war right now, we would lose. If America was to go into war right now, let's just say America was invaded tomorrow morning, we will lose. Because all of us is not prepared. We don't have the endurance mentally, physically, spiritually. Spiritually, we already detached. We don't have absolutely no power. We will be destroyed. And in the beginning, she was in defense of America. No, the superpower. When I broke it down and I explained it to her, and I said, don't listen to me. Like I tell you guys all the time, don't listen to me. Do your own homework. Go outside. Take your head out of your religion and just look at the world for what it is. Look at the world how you see your job. And you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. You're going to see like, damn, yo, we really messed up. Damn, we got all these churches. It's like for every church that's built, it's like it's a home for like 10,000 sinners. 10,000 evil. That's what religion is. Real legions. That's where they come. But, you know, when I say these things, people say that I be wilding. But let us continue. It's almost finished, guys. It's almost finished. It's almost finished. See?
Biblios meaning record of. Y'all understand? The Quran, chronology, maxima, the great chronology. The Quran is the great chronology of the science and the study of the asteroid, of the astral plane. Y'all understand? Okay, so justice died on the cross. Here's what happened. Those that we call Europeans or Albions, ruled during the age of Pisces. So when we say the time is up, we're not just saying this by conjecture. We're saying this because the time, the 2,166 years that they had is over. I'm not saying this because I have any bias against them or any of that. This is the science of it, and they know it. The problem is our people are not ready for it. How can justice return under the age of Aquarius if we're not ready? The age of Aquarius demands information. It is the technology age Aquarius is. Aquarius demands answers. Our youth demand answers. They demand the truth. They demand this truth because they cannot proceed and lead the world without this knowledge. They cannot do it. They cannot do this without the understanding of the zodiac, which is this. Zodiacus is the ancient name of the term zodiac. Zodiacus implies the first woman, who is this. Womb man. We are man with a womb. That's who we are. No spirit can enter this plane without the agreement of a womb man. Period. We are the vehicle. We have a covenant with the cosmos where we agree to bring those spirits, which we call monads, from the astral plane and summon them to this physical plane. And it is only through the womb man that they can leave, exit, and then reposition themselves in another plane. All of this relevant to all law. Now, this is why when the brother talked about getting our land back, I know this issue very well. I fight this fight every day on top of all my other duties and responsibilities and everything else that I do. So when we talk about justice returns under the age of Aquarius, this is why when we walk into a courtroom and we understand that the court, as I explained to a class just recently, a court is also a corporation. They don't hide that from you. They put it right on the seal, right behind the judge. And they tell you that this court was incorporated in 1878, whatever it is.
You guys seen that? Like I said, I rewinded it back just so you guys can get, the story about the Bibliacus, okay, which is only the study of astrology, which is the New Testament is literally stolen from this, And I got the Dead Sea Scrolls as well with the tablets on the side so you can see without a shadow of a doubt that it was stolen. The foundation of Christianity was stolen from these people. So now that this is over, let's have a real conversation now. So we gonna dive into the facts versus truth. What is really going to set us free, right? We're gonna dive in. We're gonna have a good one. Let's first and foremost, let's break down the difference between the facts and the truth. Okay? Facts can be proven or validated but they can be manipulated or taken out of context. Example, slavery ended in 1868. A fact on paper only. History books are filled with facts that leaves out critical parts of our story. Now here's truth. Truth is a deeper and an eternal truth is deeper and eternal. It simply is. Truth does not require this is where the Hebrews and all this religious people. Truth doesn't require validation validation or approval. The truth is slavery never ended. It's just changed forms. Truth reveals how laws don't apply equally to us. That's what they consider truth. Now, the difference between facts and truth is facts does not look for internal connection to a divine something for it to be what it is. Meaning, the fact of the matter is we was taken. The fact of the matter is black people was enslaved. That's a fact. That's not to be disputed, right? But the truth now becomes, yeah, we was enslaved, but it's because we was doing wrong. And now that we coming back to God and we keeping the truth of his word, now we're good. But the same people that convert to keeping the ways and the laws are still suffering like those that don't keep the law. So when the Biblos tell you that following my ways, you should be the head and not the tail, and then you see the fact that we're still the tail and not the head, and then that you see this video that the sister just played, and shout out to her too, when you see the video that she played, when she said that this was the year of the Pisces. So I want you guys to process this for a little bit. Let me show my face quick fast. Let me show my face. I want you guys to process this. So if we was in the days, if we're now in the age of Aquarius, and prior to that was the age of the Pisces, and the books was written I mean, according to what she said, the universal order is 2,100 years, right? For the next cycle to come. Now, think about this for a minute. Think about from the creation of the Jesus story, from what we was told happened 2,000 years ago. That means that the Jesus story, the books, the writings, the lectures, all of that came in that time frame. No, the Biblos was not written, at the same time Jesus was alive. The Biblos was written hundreds of years later, which goes hand in hand. Jesus story, here comes the Biblos. These people are coming into various locations. These people was in Asia. These people was in South America. These people was in what you call that, Australia. These people was in every area you can imagine. Every area. And every single one of them was under the foundation of the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church is the founding seat when it's pertaining to the worldwide governance of this earth. I tell you guys this all the time. The Orsinian family are the ones that you need to look into. You need to look into the Orsinian family. Before you get on your knees and you say, Father, please. Before you get on your knees and you say, Father, please. Just know that the term father was put there in reference, in honor to the Orsinian family. Because every time you say father, you give praise, you give them more power. And like the lady said, shout out to Mama Love, we're not ready for that. None of us is ready, especially these brothers that's claiming that stand on truth. Shout out to the sister that I was speaking today on Instagram. And she's been following me when it's pertaining to, this Alkebulan and the Bible being an African story taking place in Africa. She's been a part of that. But now that I remove myself, it's like, wow, like how did this happen? Where did this happen? A lot of it happened when I started reading for myself. A lot of it started happening when I started speaking to people outside of the country that's not connected to the Biblos. And when you speak to these people, they tell you a whole different story. They tell you that, our people has been discontinued from their heritage. There's people in the land right now that can still pinpoint everything, when they was taken, how they family, where they was sold, what was happening. All of that they remembered. But you telling me some fucking commandments niggas ain't gonna remember? Pardon my language, but I just get pissed off when I hear this, because it makes absolutely no sense. So we remember all the heinous things that happened to us, but we all of a sudden we forgot the ways and the laws of the creators, and it took outside resources. I'm an outsider. Alkebulans, listen, people, I am an outsider. I need you to show me where in the Biblos, where the word of God said that it was gonna come from the outside and then make its way to the holies of holies. I'll wait for it. Huh? All questions that I've asked have yet till this day have been answered. But these guys is worrying about me including a female presence when I say Sunini Nanini. Every question that I ask can't be answered, but everybody's more focused on the fact that I acknowledge Mama Love. I'm gonna always acknowledge Mama Love. Even if a wise man came to me and said, my brother, I've been Sunini Nanini is just a male presence. still gonna say Mama Love. Still gonna give honor to Mama Love because I'm not, again, monotheism, not of an Alkebulan. That's first and foremost. That's number one. Number two, just not following the ways of the Europeans. Because I know without a shadow of a doubt that Leopold and all of these people, when they was coming with their missionaries, and I read this for you guys numerous of times, that the objective was to, you can call and believe whatever you want to believe in, just make sure that it's connected to our God. So Sunini Nanini, which sounds like two names in one, Nana, Nanini, sounds like a female. Nana, just growing up as an Alkebulan, you know, Nana is what we used to call our grandma. Nana, right? Two names in one. We want you to just call it father. And if you accept it as father, we won't lynch your ass or violate you or ship you or divide your family. Guess what the Alkebulan people is going to do? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guess what they're going to teach their children? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guess what's going to go on for 50, 40, 60, 80, 130 something years? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So our people over there is already compromised as well. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But you see the spirit of having no fear coming on the land as well. You see what my brother Abraham is doing? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Warriors is being awoken. There's nothing that you guys can do to stop this. You should know the truth, and the truth shall set you free, right? Wrong. We desire the facts because the facts is the only thing that's going to set us free. We don't want the assumptions no more. When I argue, when I send things to brothers on TikTok, and you should hear the responses. It's it's beyond hilarious to me, bro. Hilarious. And I'm saying, damn, can you imagine that this was something that I was doing? And one of the main reasons why. Oh, and I know I digressed when I was talking to the sister, but about the sister, but one of the main reasons why I knew that this was complete foolishness was when I seen black leaders, biblical scholars, supposedly, that taught me, that I went to looking for answers when it's pertaining to spiritual, biblical connections. I watched these dudes get smoked by these Europeans. I mean, smoked. To the point where I'm watching individuals act like children and say things like, it doesn't matter. This is my book. This is our. I said, these are the teachers of the people? Then I seen another one. Seen another white guy school another Hebrew. And believe it or not, the Hebrew brothers got more biblical knowledge than your teachers. They have more biblical knowledge than your teachers. Teachers is just regurgitating the same thing every year. It's going to be the same thing. And you know this. So it's just a regurgitation. It's nothing. Is nothing that's going to bring us back to our roots. You think our roots is connected to bad fruits? We're not eating that no more. We're not eating the genetically modified fruits. If it don't got no seeds, we don't want it. We cleansing our bodies over here. We cleansing our minds. We cleansing in our souls. We moving different. We talking different. We speaking with fire. We're not subjecting ourselves to the ideologies no more, man. This is why you see me use profanity. This is why you see me do things different, because I'm trying to show you that we're no longer being in shackles, spiritual shackles anymore, bro. We taking that off. We ain't got no choice. Shorty said that. Taking that off. We ain't got no choice. Listen, this is the last of the Mohicans, pimping. Pick a side or step aside, but choose wisely. Because you going against me don't mean nothing. You having rebuttals for me don't mean nothing. What you should be afraid of is when true word. Every time I tell you the truth, my phone goes off. What you should be focusing on is the wrath of the ancestors, the wrath of the universe. Blood has to be shed for the atrocities of the Alkebulan kidnaps. It has to be shed. And it will be shed. Whether it's coming from us or it's coming from them. But it will be shed. All right, guys. That's my time. Hope you guys had a good one. You know what I'm saying? I wish you guys would have came on a lot earlier. Definitely would have gave you guys shout out to Shango. No, the fallen angels are not guardians. That was a mistake. What I meant to say is the story that they told you about the fallen angels, these are the spirits that dwell on this realm that hover over us. Okay? The concept that these people got when it's pertaining to like hierarchies and stuff like that, they got it from us. Okay? So this is how it goes. This is what I want the Alkebulan people to understand. Before you connect to the creators, you must first connect to those, your bloodline that passed away. So if your mom's passed away, you should connect to your moms. You should connect to your pops, your uncle, your grandmother, your grandfather, because these are your elders. You're carrying on that DNA of these people. You got to connect to that. And shout out to Mama Bella who broke this down for me. We're so focused on trying to connect to just, stories and characters within the Bible. And when we say, yeah, man, we doing this for our ancestors, no. Because that's like going to war when I don't even know where the war is taking place at. Doesn't make sense. The objective is to connect back to your ancestors, your fallen ones, people that you actually know. Like you know your grandmother, right? You know your grandfather, right? Like you actually know them. Give honor to them. When their birthday come, when their birthday come, when their death comes, when anytime they brought any level of joy to you, acknowledge it. Give thanks and honor because they live to fornicate and have a sexual situation to produce you right now. You have to acknowledge that. That's number one. Number two, you have to connect and understand the Alkebulan so-called deities. Remember, the term deities come from them. Okay? But the Oguns, like the sis says, the Shangos, all of these things, these people are for real. These things are for real. I come from a Haitian background. I'm telling you, these things is for real. We have powers that's unspoken of. But because of the westernization of the Alkebulan kidnapped, things that you perceive black, you automatically got in your mind as evil. And the things that you see white, you automatically see it as pure. That is by design. That's what you call colorized racism. Okay, it's a whole process. I can't break these things down. There's too much. It's a whole process, right? You got the, you know, for example, you know that red means warning, something, right? Then you put yellow in it. I forgot what yellow means. You merge them together, it instantly attracts your eyes. That's why McDonald's is the color that it is. That's why when you drive, before it turns red, it gets yellow. Subsequence, they know what they're doing. I can't make this stuff up. You have to do your homework, right? And then after you connect to the Alkebulan so-called deities, then you give honor and worship and praise and respect to the creators. Now, why do Jews say the creators? I say the creators because I don't know what name my ancestors was calling on. I don't know. We all are not from South Africa, people. We have to get that. We get the Euro Christian out of your mind. Get it out your mind. Not all of us come from South Africa. When I see people in Benin, that looks like my mother's side of the family. That looks like my mother's side of the family. We're not. And there was no migration, niggas fleeing, hot running into them. All lies. Nobody was doing none of that. Lies. Just like Solomon with 700 wives is a lie. What you mean is a lie? You telling me the word of God is a lie? Absolutely. Because if it was 700 wives, we should be able to trace these 700 wives. At least give me 50, my nigga. 50? Listen, 50 out of 700, is that even a percentage? Is that even a percentage? Yes. The Orshes, Yoruba deities. Yes. You got to give honor and respect to ones that's close to you. Remember, this is religion telling you not to worship the dead. This is religion teaches you not to worship your loved ones, your dead family members, but they teach you to worship a dead man. But the reason why you accept it is because you believe a story that he was risen. He rose up, knowing that that story was stolen from this. Yes. Osiris and the Egyptian resurrection. This is where the foundation of Christianity comes from. It does not come from no Bantu scrolls. It comes from the tablets of Egyptians. I have the tablets. I don't know about the Old Testament. I don't know. We talking about the New Testament right now. The New Testament, hand in hand, the Book of the Dead. Hand side by side. Take the name Osiris and put Jesus in, you're gonna get the same story. Promise you, same story. Side by side. Osiris' mother was a virgin, Jesus, same story. The foundation. And the reason why the Europeans took that foundation, shout out to Constantine and Abba Greberson, the man that wrote the Ethiopian Bible. He was a Byzantine king, denounced his position to become an Egyptian monk with his cousin because they had a mission, and the mission was to bring forth this Jesus hypnosis to the world, to the Alkebulan, because he that runs this land is the one that's the man, and you see who's running the land. But guess what? Like the sister says, oh, we terrorize them like Taliban's. And don't let none of these things fool you. All this nuclear, guns, this, atomic bomb, all of this, that lies. Trust me. If these people had these things to use, they would have used it already. So fear tactics. And they can't afford to do that because they can't afford to live underground. They gotta run. they gotta be active, so they can't afford it. Listen, something of a nuclear was so powerful. How would it be able to be withstand in a container? How could it be able to be withstand into the making of it? How many people died? Think about that. How can you intake that thing is so strong? Like what life source, what life jacket do you have to protect you from this smell? Protect you from this toxic. But I leave it as that. Man, gotta tap into that spiritual realm. That's in your deity, it's in your DNA. I know I got it in my DNA. Anytime, listen, I tell you guys this all the time. Anytime something bad is going to happen, my eyes twitches. Somebody that I love will be my left eye. My left eye is connected to my heart. Somebody that I know or was in acquaintance or somebody I seen, had a conversation with, whether it was brief, long term, doesn't matter. My right eye twitches all the time. All the time. It's never late. I've been having this. I get that from my mother. Guess what? My mother, my grandmother was one of the top voodoo priests in the community. And everybody loved her. Everybody went to her for healing. What killed my grandmother was her stubbornness. That's just every Alkebulan Kidnapped. Even myself. Listen, I realized the other day that I'm very rebellious and that I'm very cold-hearted. Now, I know it's not a good thing to have, but I want you to understand that I'm an acknowledgement of my flaws. Like I really don't care. My Wiz would tell you. She'd be like, yo, you really don't be giving a shit. And I say, why you say that? She said, because you just don't. Like the things that people will be like, "Oh, you don't care. Like you don't care to be alone. You don't care. Like in reality, I don't. You know what I'm saying? And this is no disrespect because I love everybody. But you gotta understand, my trauma for me started when I was 8. Okay? Or should I say when I was 6? From the minute my pops was sick, and I watched my pops be a healthy, fit man. And I watched him go from that to this. You know what I'm saying? Watch him, when my pops was dying, my pops, it was bad. You feel me? So I've been traumatized from that. And even from that, I was told, like, yo, you gotta hold it down. You know what I'm saying? My mama always said, hold it down. I had to become a man at 8 years old, bro. 8 years old, I had to become a man, right? My pops died, I was 8. I had to become a man. And in that process of being a man, I had a 4-year-old little brother. I had to watch over him, be a father, be a brother, be a protector, and while my mother was the provider. This is facts. So I know why I'm the way that I am. You know what I'm saying? And I'm man enough to admit that, right? But we gotta correct. And for us, for me, we're not ready. We're just not ready. We think we are. Shout out. She said, "Aren't facts truth?" Nah. You want me to show you the difference? Hold on. Let me show you the difference. So this is the difference between facts and truth. So I'll let you could read it if you want, but that's the difference. Truth and facts is two different things. See, truth is whatever you wanted to believe and you stand on that. Facts is the facts. Right? Your truth can be your truth, but it's not the facts. The truth of the matter is we was enslaved. That's a fact. That's a fact. Now, What you want me to believe as truth is the cause of us being in slavery is because we wasn't true to God's word, or we wasn't committed to God's word. That is a truth that people want people to bring it back. That is a truth, supposedly, that they want everybody to receive and believe and insert and be the reasoning into why we should just be acceptable to the atrocities and just keep waiting for the skies. It's intentional. The facts and the truth, two different things. The reason why it's two different things because there's no truth in this earth. Truth died a long time ago. Okay? Truth died a long time ago. That's why we want the facts. Because if we stand on facts and we stop standing on truth, what you perceive to be truth, see, that's what it is. See, truth can become a selective thing. Truth can be your belief. This is what I consider truth. Facts is that's facts. I can't argue that. You can argue truth. You can't argue facts. We arguing truth right now. We got black people believing that, the Biblos is a black man's book. That's the truth that you put it in yourself. That's not the facts. The fact of the matter is, it wasn't black people that wrote the Bible. The fact of the matter is, it wasn't black people that was distributing the Bible. The fact of the matter is, it's not black people that's benefiting off the Bible. The fact of the matter is, it's not black people that's profiting off the Bible. The fact of the matter is, it's not black people that's profiting or capitalizing off these religions. These is facts. This is not an assumption. Now, the truth is going to be everything I just said, but you'll see that they wrote it, they did this, they interdicted that, but you just got to have the spirit of truth in you, and you'll be able to see. That's the difference. I hope that was, give you a level of clarity. That's the difference. Yeah. So definitely about to log off. I wasn't supposed to be on this late. I was supposed to go outside and enjoy this beautiful weather and enjoy the sunlight. But because I love you guys and trying to make you guys step away from Christ, I had to stay here for another night. Is there any more questions? And as you can see, you see how you too. Watch when I log off. Watch when I log off. I'm gonna show you. And I don't know. Maybe I need to speak to somebody to see what's going on because I'm getting sick and tired of these the censoring that's going on here. Right? But yeah, it's time for us to come back to our creators. Time for us to come back to our ancestors. Time for us to come back to the deities that hover over us. Who you think? Let me for my sister. Think about this. Who you think the Haitians was calling on when they needed strength to fight off the French? You think they was calling on Jesus? No, they was calling on O'Shea and Ogun. O'Shea was what they hide when they was talking about Mary. Right. So when the slave master came and when they seen them praying and praising and all of that, they said, "Oh, who that? Mary, 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 Mary. Yes, Mary." And Ogun, they use that as Peter. So that's why you see a lot of Haitians with the name Pierre. That's why you see a lot of Haitians with the name John, because they used to hide what they was doing. Used to hide the Benin, the voodoo. They used to hide these rituals and practices. They used to hide it under Christianity. The reason why the Alkebulans fell after that is because we didn't go back to the roots. We wanted to be genetically modified Europeans. I'm telling you, this is how Haiti fell. We wanted to be like the French. We wanted to eat their soup, zoom, zoom. You know what I'm saying? We wanted to deal with their women. Do you understand? Oh yeah, it was real bad. You see, when the ancestors give when the ancestors give you the power to fight, and the O'Sheas and the Oguns are allowed to come under the orders of the creators, when they do that job and you get free, you were supposed to take everything away from you, but we didn't do that. We wanted to be like everybody else. We wanted to show the world that we are better than them. But this time, and the next go around, once that, listen carefully when I tell you this, people. Once that position shifts, we will never, and I repeat, never, ever, ever denounce that position. I'm going to make sure of that as long as I'm living. No way. No. We're gonna take some pages out of Hitler's book. You know what Hitler was doing when he was alive? You know what was his number one focus? You want to know? His number one focus was the children. His number one focus was the children. Anybody 7 and under was his focal point. These children that are 7 and under are the ones that's governing Germany right now. And when you see how Germany is right now, you'll start to question, was Hitler really a bad man? If you listen to Hitler's speeches in English, translated to English, I promise you'll have a different perspective. I wanted to put this on it, but because this is a Jewish platform, I don't want nobody saying that I'm coming with a hate speech and this and that. I don't want no problems. So I just put it to the side. But in reality, I got the records. I got the records about the Holocaust. I got it. And I know I can never bring this out, because the day that I do, all my hard work go out the window. Well, but with that being said, guys, it's your brother man from the motherland. I came to you guys live. Once again, continue supporting. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Appreciate your feedback. Bantu. I can't even call you Bantu no more. I can't call you Bantu Princess, man. New beginnings. You're new beginnings. I like that. That's suited for you. New beginnings. Because it's new beginnings for you, and it's gonna be new beginnings for me. You understand? But shout out to you. Shout out to Vera. Is that Vera Sanders? Shout out to you. Black Girl Magic. I don't know where you at. You probably in the plantation. You probably gonna catch this on another flip. But again, shout out to you guys. Shout out to the sister. Let me make sure I say your name right. Elena. Yeah, shout out to you too. Appreciate you coming out. You know, we always putting in this work. Every 7th day, we keeping our foot in the gavel on these heathens, you he-grows, and the newly installed heathenites next. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? I got one just for you guys. Check this out. Look. It's taking so long.
Are you dumb?
There you go.
Are you dumb?
There you go.
Are you dumb?
There you go.
Are you dumb?
Are you dumb? Or are you dumb?
Are you dumb?
And I'm out at y'all.